I'm a Mr. Enter.
He apparently
He
doesn't
doesn't
like
like
the
the
theme
theme
song.
song.
I don't know. I
I don't know.
like
I
it.
Oh,
like
he's
it.
a party pooper.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually really like it.
I actually really like it
Personally,
personally.
I
I mean, I
Gonna
wouldn't
get a
have.
little weird. Gonna get a little wild.
it's
It's
catchy as all
catchy as all
heck.
heck.
Yeah. Most of the musical scores in the show tend to be pretty catchy, upbeat, kind of have that MIDI chip tune video game kind of feel to them. Fits really well for what kind of theme and yeah, just what kind of overall theme and ideas the show goes for. So you have the start of the episode where Marco's talking to Jackie, and it's a bad time because Star is in full-on panic mode, shoving as much shit into her oversized backpack as possible. I'm kind of curious about that weird purple fizzy drink that Marco randomly has in his hand.
It looks like
randomly had.
It looked
It
like
looks
Does
like
it
it had
have some kind of bizarre version of a Starbucks or something? Or
I don't know. It
I don't know. It kind of looked like it had
an
an egg in it. That's what got me.
what kind of egg is that? Is it specifically for decorative purposes? Is it made out of sugar? Or
I don't know.
I don't know. I hope.
yes.
I hope it's not a.
I hope it's not a
boiled egg
like
or
boiled
anything.
egg or anything.
Well, it's been off screen for close to a minute now. Now we're at Star still in panic mode, and Marco saying, "Hey, we should call your mom." And Star's like, "No, we can't call my mom." That. Then we have Buff Frog reading a fairy tale to his little kiddos. One thing I'd like to point out there: note that the monsters were portrayed as the good guys, and the mutants the bad guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Detail there. More addition to the framework of humans and monsters. Really intense political debate.
Yeah.
Have you seen
the
the
character
designs
designs for the original intention for the Buff Frog babies?
They originally
They
had.
originally had.
Not.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
they
they
originally
originally
had
had
the
the
little
egg
egg
casing
casing
around
around
the
the
legs.
legs. So
I don't know.
I don't know. They took that out. I'm guessing for animation reasons. Whoever was the person who designed it, they have a Tumblr out there. They said that they were disappointed that the little membrane around the legs didn't make it into the show.
Just a little trivia.
I'll have to look that up later. The design they currently have for the babies makes sense. Fairly simplistic but distinctive.
Oh, it's not.
It's not. It's
Probably easier to draw them running around.
It's not too different.
difference. The only real difference is that the membrane doesn't cover their legs.
Oh, okay. Definitely gonna have to look up this design so I have better context for what we're talking about here.
They're
falling down. They shoot now.
Charge in on a water cord! F yeah! Channeling the MacGyver there, just like Ms. Skolnick in Interdimensional Field Trip. All the antics with the paperclip, something along those lines. Star pulled out the rainbow nuke thingamabob. Wasn't the last time that showed up on screen back in Storm the Castle, if I remember right?
What was the spell?
What was the spell?
What spell?
Well,
I don't know. Some kind of rainbow nuke thing. Whenever Star screams out the name of some kind of spell, it's usually gibberish, gibberish, something blast, and yeah.
And then like the.
I'm
and then
not
like
the
the.
person.
Yeah.
I don't tend.
Magical holes. Not a big deal for Marco, the guy who always has $100 bills conveniently in his back pocket, readily prepared to bribe the bouncer or whoever else.
That was always
weird for me. I never understood why.
I don't know.
I don't know. Marco never came across as particularly rich, and out of nowhere he has all this money.
And
I guess it's just an inexplicable thing. SpongeBob also appears to be inexplicably rich in his show. So I don't know.
So here, I think there's eventually going to be some kind of explanation or follow-up on that.
It showed up twice.
It has to be a plot point.
Star was just
blasted by something.
This is the second appearance of the super duper spying spell. Note that she specifically put Marco in another room and told him, "Don't look." That's going to raise suspicion. The first precursors to the horrible Star and Marco drama, romantic drama and junk. But that's going to show up later on in the month.
Glossric. Pudding. Of course, pudding.
The guy's obsessed with it.
Well, yeah.
If he were a more simpler one-note character, I'd say that you could sway him just with a great big vat of chocolate pudding. Though the way he's been portrayed in more recent episodes, he's cryptic and kind of secretive for a reason. That I think he just told Ludo, "I want pudding and I'll tell you spell stuff," and Ludo obliged him. Just because he has something that Ludo really wants.
Yeah, I'm sure
that makes a lot of sense.
So
the spy style doesn't like the spy style. If we're like looking at it like a security camera or something, then this kind of implies a fictional fourth wall within the universe that Star is actively breaking.
Fourth wall is probably the wrong term.
Fourth wall is probably the wrong term. That's probably
think about it that way. That's awesome.
I mean,
just if we're trying to put this in like real reality, are we like supposed to imagine that like Star, this is the equivalent of like Star coming out of like a television monitor from Glosseric's perspective?
That's one way to think of it, I suppose. Star is reaching beyond the fourth wall. Watch out! If she grabs your hand, she'll drag you into another dimension where things are going to get a little weird, get a little wild.
That's
actually twice in the show where like a hand almost gets cut off.
You notice that? Like the
first
one was in Storm the Castle. You had the little crystal cage like going around Marco's hand, and you almost feel like it's going to be
cut off. And then here
you have the same thing after Star's hand, except for with a spell. Combine that with like some of the monster arm imagery from the
early in the first
season.
Something
can happen to someone's arm.
Stuff with hands. You already have Toppy's arm getting completely blasted off. His completely dismembered finger. What is it with the show and arms and hands and ugh?
Well, I mean,
Adventure Time had the same thing going on with it.
And I'm wondering
we're just looking too much into it, and we're just applying the fact that Adventure Time actually did do something with it, and here it's just a coincidence.
I think here it's just a coincidence. The only dismembered limb that really holds strong thematic significance is Toppy's finger.
Yeah.
At this point in time. There may be significance or follow-up to Marco's monster arm, but there hasn't been any follow-up or anything on screen quite yet, so that's just going to be an idea I'm bookending for now. Return of the monster hipsters.
Wait, what part are you on?
What part are you on? Because I'm at the part where they're calling. Oh.
Oops. Yeah, just going to skip to that particular part of the episode then. I'm kind of wondering what did go through Star's parents' minds when she tells them, hey, I screwed up. A tiny man stole the book and now he has a magic wand, and just how calmly they react. And they tell her, you sit back, we're going to take care of this. That kind of speaks volumes as to... They don't necessarily blame her. It's set up as, this is something that was a bit out of Star's control, or out of her set of circumstances. And to the direness or severity of the situation. that they're stepping in and doing something on her behalf. Maybe I don't want to say that Ludo is a major threat, that they'd see him as such. That's possible. But there's also the likelihood that they might just see it as, this is something that we can easily take care of. Stuff like this has happened. Moon faced this a couple of times before. Her parents had to step in and help her out, with the inevitability that another monster rival tried to steal her wand. I can imagine it probably happened a couple of times, considering her monster rival was Toffee.
Okay.
I'm at commercial break now.
Yeah,
I'm at a commercial break where there's no commercials, incidentally. I hope that doesn't stay like that. If not, I suppose I'll just refresh the page.
Oh, I'm just rambling or speculating about what kind of significance it is that Star's parents pretty much set up. We are going to take care of this. You just sit tight and don't do anything.
Yeah. The commercial break.
Wondering how they see the situation, I guess.
The commercial break came in just as Star just after Star started writing her first few spells in that new book.
Okay.
I believe that was the end of the episode.
Yeah, okay.
Present.
That's...
Alright,
That's...
Trickstar?
Yeah, Trickstar has started.
Trickstar.
I can pause it. Where
are you?
Let's queue him up to start at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Trickstar already started.
Okay.
Every watching the ending of the last one.
Where is it?
Alright, I have the beginning of Trickstar pause where Star has her incredibly bizarre present, and Marco seems really excited about something. And the more I look at the stopped or paused version of Star's present,
I'm playing it.
It has
now.
horns and a tail that looks like a earthworm.
Yeah.
Is that what happened to you, Earthworm Jim? Are you moonlighting as a hind end of some weird mythological creature?
It looks
Thing.
I don't know. It looks kind of I don't know what it is, but I bet you it's not supposed to have any significance behind it.
The fact that we're asking what it is.
Probably not, but
Yeah.
Steak.
Burger, not steak.
Well, the second one was.
The second one was a steak.
Tattoo
artist.
Oh no, he's from one of those seedy tattoo shops. There's one that I like to poke fun at or have a running joke with somebody, and it's called Big Top Tattoos. Big Top crappy tattoo. A grown man getting excited about a magician coming to perform at his birthday party. There is something magical about this.
Well, we just saw.
The meme.
The one that
Marco,
everyone.
Yeah.
Marco with his eyes. You love that.
Sausage.
Weenie.
Go sausage.
Floating sausage.
Preston Changeo just appeared. I mean, isn't it kind of weird that they follow up one show about a party performer with another episode about a party performer?
I'm Bomb on the
Birthday Cloud is obviously what I'm talking about.
But Bon only appeared in the episode at the beginning, and one of my buddies used the trope for what that is, where the episode is called something, but that's not what the episode is about.
Steven
Universe does that a lot.
Wait, was that?
Is that quarter? Is that an actual quarter, or is it a foil wrapped piece of chocolate?
Why is that?
Was that Jeremy?
Yes.
We haven't
We haven't exactly
Well,
seen
it's Sensei's birthday, so Jeremy would show up.
Of course it is.
I feel like it's idiot for not noticing that at first. We haven't seen Jeremy in a while.
That's perfectly fine. I personally wish he'd stay off screen.
Birthday
magic. Jennifer.
Did I miss something?
Why'd you call him Jennifer?
That's going to send a bunch of theorists going to their keyboards and clacking away.
There's also a case with like Margot, that type of thing.
Oh boy. Wait, what he was doing with Marco's wallet? Is he secretly a shyster that uses sleight of hand and illusions to steal people's stuff? Is this leading up to that kind of plot device?
Well,
that's what I was under the impression he was doing. Okay, here's something ringing.
Yeah, probably Grandma calling for the 600th time today. Oh crap, this is live. Don't tell her I said that.
I
won't.
Oh no, it's a
real quarter. It's a giant quarter, but it's a real quarter.
I love that Sensei lives with his mom. That still cracks me up. What?
See. Okay, so. I'm
not exactly sure how to say what I just saw.
Does he have like magic powers or some kind of setup like what Spectra and Danny Phantom has? In other words, he leeches on people's emotions, or
that could be it.
I actually think that might be the case. He's been sucking every character. That's not supposed to come out like that. Whatever. He's been sucking the life force of every character.
Dear God, there
are children at his party.
Yep, he's got powers like Spectra. Or a setup like that. Oh god.
Okay, so
yeah, you don't trust a shady guy like that. He's not gonna keep his promise.
Well,
I'd say Sensei is trying to be awesome considering he had the CD on my tattoo artist from earlier, so you know.
His mom probably got his karate clothes at the thrift shop too. Macklemore would not endorse hiring a CD magician for cheap though.
Starfam 13 has no lines.
Neither does Jana,
but whatever.
I
like both of those characters though.
Especially Jana.
One last comment about the tattoo artist. It's not a good idea to hire an independent tattoo artist to come to a birthday party or whatever unless he has a big stack of legal favors or liability waivers, because you would get in a lot of trouble if you don't meet health codes. Really stringent rules on that. Oh.
Wait. Okay, something's about to happen.
Star doing the I'm watching you thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Preston's engaging in just typical illusionist or
eating all of everyone's soul, happiness.
Yep, there we go. Now he's pulling the life soul suck thingamajig. Look at that! It makes his hat grow. I didn't notice that before.
All right,
you're a little behind me episode wise.
Just tell me when you get
to the part where he says he doesn't do real magic.
What's going on
your end?
Yep, just reached the point where he says I don't do real magic.
Okay.
Well, we're synced now. The spoiler alert thing. This doesn't really pertain to this episode. This is.
I really like the show.
I really like the show. I wouldn't be doing this stream if it weren't for the fact that I did like the show. But see, there was a podcast recently that mentioned that spoiler alert is a claim and is not necessarily something you want to have being put in your scripts anytime soon.
I'll talk more about that
after the stream because it looks like this episode's
after
the episodes because it looks like this episode's finishing up.
Yep.
Jana's
in the background. Making the unhappy face.
This is an interesting twist right here.
I mean, they showed magic. That's one of the things about this episode. Like they actively show. You can't.
This is
something we need to. That's going to be probably come up as something I'm going to mention after this episode ends.
No, the twist being that it's not necessarily so bad that he was sapping or sucking up magic. Star is the antagonist here because she had the guy break down all the basic magic or illusionist tricks he was pulling. Took the quote-unquote magic out of the illusions by explaining them.
I mean, the dude's still sucking out people's joy.
It is, but there were some deliberate comments from the crowd or audience that they'd gladly share or give it up. But there's sort of a weird symbiotic exchange with this guy giving people the childish version of magic. Just presenting the fun with, how do I do this? It's so fun to watch the magician in action is not knowing exactly how he performs his tricks. Trading this for some small slice of their some kind of equivalent exchange kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, show just ended for me.
Same here.
Yeah. Okay, so there were some
deliberate comments that pointed out that
so
the soul sucking was real, right? Not soul.
Yeah,
happy
joy sapping.
Okay, but Star was. I never changed the background.
Oh
well, whatever. I can save that for another day.
Okay,
so the happiness sucking was real, but all of the other magic tricks were fake.
And Star still
turns out as the antagonist for that.
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest here. I really like the first episode. The first episode. Well, obviously, I like the first episode. That's one of those. It's one of those lore-based episodes that any fan kind of has to watch in order to progress with the story. The second one is obviously one of the more filler-y episodes. The Trickstar one. I don't know. I have a little bit of I have a few problems with the second one. I mean, maybe it'll grow on me if I watch it again, but it still feels weird that Star is coming across as antagonist on that one. Or antagonistic.
Lane,
what do you think?
I like the idea of there being other being people from another dimension, sort of hiding out on Earth. I also like the idea. I don't know, just thinking about how the character's set up, I don't necessarily like it. There's an interesting idea there. I guess if anything, it feels like, yeah, this is one of those cases where I'd be okay with there being some kind of trite follow-up where Star made amends with the guy, or I don't know. Just feels like there could have been a little bit of extra follow-up here. I would have been okay with the sappy, happy ending if.
I mean, I can make.
I can make a comparison to another episode right now.
What is the name of that?
What is the name of that episode? The one where the exchange student one. What's the name of that episode?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Darn it.
It might have been called.
It might have been called It might have actually been called exchange student. Hold on.
The Mad Typist. But
the other exchange student is what the episode is called. Oh, that was another one that it feels kind of similar, like plot wise. There's still the idea that that Star is very suspicious of the guest in that episode, and
in that case, she was envious of how much the Diaz family loved the guy, that he was taking a proverbial spotlight. Here, she's incredibly skeptic of the magician's magic or illusions being real. She was determined to prove this is not real magic compared to what I can do with the wand. He's kind of got a catch-22 situation. He's bad because he sucks joy out of people, but he's not necessarily 100% evil, or Star's not 100% in the right.
Yeah.
Because
she
deliberately goes out of her way to make the guy reveal all of the secrets behind his magic tricks, thereby sucking out what the entertainment value of watching the magician here was.
The
episode went by
a lot faster than I was expecting it to.
I don't know. One thing I do kind of like about the show, and I probably shouldn't stop praising it,
is I do kind of like how Star isn't all. I don't think Star has ever been a completely great person.
Just in the show in general.
But she's still you can still
she still has enough
good traits in her for you to follow her. Despite the fact that the show obviously presents her as unambiguously the good guy, she still has a certain amount of jerkiness that she seems to be kind of unaware of, I should actually mention. And that's something I genuinely like
about the show.
She's presented as the good guy to an extent. There's still some humanizing of some of the characters on the other side of the proverbial fence, like Butt Frog, some of the monsters, their side of the political debate. There's deliberate effort to create more realistic, believable characters and paint the politics or morality with some shades of gray. So yeah, it makes sense that there'd be another episode where Star would be somewhat in the wrong. This one is interesting enough that definitely going to give it another watch, just to kind of chalk up where does the magician sit in morality. He's not in the right. He's still really crooked for taking advantage of his stint as magician to suck joy out of people, sort of in a similar vein or respect to what Spectre did in Danny Phantom. But it's not necessarily 100% evil because he does a service in exchange. It's almost an equal exchange to he's bringing some kind of childish joy and innocence to people's lives by presenting the fun that comes with the magician, making people wonder, how does he perform these tricks? Just what an entertainer would generally bring to a person's life. That sort of service. Just interesting food for thought. You kind of take it apart and look at it in that respect.
Um.
Okay.
Okay. I just saw a post that commented on the fact that Jana had no lines in this.
Well, yeah, Jana has.
Well, yeah, Jana has no lines in this. Trying to think of other notes.
I do.
I do.
I actually do find it.
I actually do find it kind of funny that there was a tattoo artist there.
I know we gave. I
know we both kind of gave the tattoo artist crap for being there, but
well,
I mean,
that's
exactly what they were intending for us as an audience to do. He's not supposed to be there, so
I love that little detail. It's just for live commentary. It's fun to make the comment.
Yeah, make
it
really
a lot easier.
The paperwork.
Makes
this a lot easier.
There was the
we never figured out what was in the Star's present.
Yeah, what's the big secret here? It's a secret next to where the hell does Margot get these great big fat stacks of cash? It's a mystery we may never know, but the Margot getting cash thing is probably going to be revealed in a future episode.
Well, yeah.
Like I said,
they showed that plot. They do it once, it's a gag. Do it twice, it's a plot point. It seems like they are going to definitely play it up there. And see, I'm kind of hoping it's a plot point.
I should
probably note Devil Dogs, the episode where he first shows the where he first shows the shows like the extra cash flow that he happens to have.
That's kind of a weird one
for me because I think I actually like the episode more in hindsight than I did when I actually watched it. It's not on my like top list of anything, but I do find more humor in it now that I've seen it like more than a couple times already. But even though I do like that episode now, I was still always confused by the gag that Marco has a lot of money because it didn't seem it didn't seem funny at the time. And that's still like the one joke that I never understood. But see now since they brought that back in that episode where Marco and Ponyhead have to get a pizza together, that now it's an actual plot point. That was a deliberate thing.
Marco can't hail a cab. He's going to drive a guy with a... Did he have a bulldozer or what was he driving? Some kind of big piece of construction equipment. Hitched a ride on that all the way to the pizza place.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone else says. I love the comedic potential of Marco and Ponyhead teaming up like that or going on misadventures together. I would love to see one other episode with that.
Okay, so you actually like Ponyhead? I'm warming up to her. I'll say that. I hated her in the first few episodes, but I think ever since what's the name of that episode? Saint Olga's
Saint Olga's Reform School for Wayward Princesses.
I found her. Yeah, ever since that episode, I found her to be a bit more bearable. Part of it is because I think in the first few episodes you are expecting her to be one of the main characters instead of just a reoccurring one.
I feel like
you kind of just need her in sparingly. I don't think it could take her in every episode.
I am going to amend what I said. I like her, but yes, in sparing amounts. Just like Glossaric. There's another comedic duo I'd like to see appear on screen again. Glossaric and Oscar. They're great in short doses too, in my opinion, but too much and they get grating pretty quickly.
I've always liked Glossaric.
Glossaric. Like Glossaric was one of the characters who I never actually had a problem with. Glossaric is kind of a jerk, but I like jerks in my media. I'm just gonna be honest about that.
Hey, some of my all-time favorite characters are jerks. Dan from Dan Versus. He is one of my favorite characters because of how well he plays off of Chris and Elise. If they weren't there, I wouldn't like him as much. It's just what characters someone or a character like Glossaric is pitted against that makes him so entertaining. Glossaric is fantastic when he's playing off of Star or Oscar. I like his back and forth with I like his back and forth with everybody.
We wanted to just talk about Star Versus in general. I should probably mention we have no viewers, amazingly enough.
Come on, I had.
Just for the sake of putting this into the rest of my videos, so people will have some reason to rewatch this in the future. You want to talk about Star Versus in general?
Because there's a few things I think.
Yeah,
I think they're kind of interesting.
I assumed we'd pretty much went into that kind of discussion.
For example, Jana kinda sorta took over Alfonso and Ferguson's role in these series.
Pretty much, she graduated from interesting secondary character that kind of appeared, and then it's as if they looked at fan comments and saw, "Hey, people like Jana. Let's bump up her character role." Characters like Alfonso, Ferguson, and even Brittany, they're demoted to the odd cameo every once in a while.
Brittany is
one of the weird ones for me because I hated her. I absolutely hated her in her introductory episode. But at the same time, I got the feeling I had differing opinions. On one hand, you're supposed to hate this character. She's kind of antagonistic. But at the same time, this is also kind of a cliche that a lot of shows have used. I don't think anyone's in that role is ever going to beat Bonnie from Kim Possible. Just by comparison.
But at the same time,
and I think the episode Brittany's birthday has a lot to do with it.
At the
same time, I kind of miss her now that she's gone. It's kind of weird.
What do you think of her?
What do you think of her?
Honestly, I'm okay with what role she has right now. I wouldn't mind if she appeared in a later episode and got a little bit of a character arc or went on misadventures with somebody, as long as it wasn't Star. If it were an episode focusing on side characters or something.
Focusing on
an episode focusing on side characters. That'd be an interesting scenario because we have had a few episodes. Well, actually, I'm not even sure it might just be the one. But we have had the episode where Buff Frog is put in the limelight. That was actually a really good episode. I forget the name of that one though.
I love Is Mystery.
Is Mystery.
And it is specifically for the one scene with the tongue. That's that thing with the tongue. It just kills me. I consider that the best comedic moment in Star Versus as a whole. It trumps the Derpy Marco scene in the Trickstar episode. Sorry, everybody who likes to see Marco with weird faces. Buff Rock trumps him with with the Kiss Gene Simmons tongue. That's not the only reason why I like it. It's also one of those cases where it shows that, Star Versus can follow other characters besides the main leads and have something interesting going on.
We also had an episode. It's not really. Marco's also the main character, so it's not too much of a. Escape from the norm. But there was also Friend Enemies. That one took place from Marco's point of view, with Star taking a backseat throughout the entire episode.
That's another good one. I'd actually say that falls into the realm of episodes that don't have Star as the main focus. and do fairly well, I wouldn't mind seeing more episodes just following Marco. You also have Red Belt, technically.
I'm posting another thing because there's still no one watching it. But if we're just going to continue to talk about it, we might as well get a conversation with an audience. So I'm just gonna post another post about it. And tagging that with Star versus and post. Okay, I'm back. The what else was I? I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. We are talking just about Tom, and we are talking about Tom, right?
Just the topic of episodes that didn't star or follow the secondary character.
Oh yeah.
Or Star makes an appearance, but she's not the main focus, or she's not one of the major characters.
I can't think of many other episodes other than those two. I could be missing one. I mean,
Red Belt.
Oh yeah, that one followed Marco.
Yep.
That one followed Marco and built a lot of Sensei's character. Does Sensei have a name?
It's Sensei.
It's just
Sensei.
Okay. I figured just as much. Sensei.
Yeah, Sensei.
Well, no, I actually can't.
Okay, was there anything other than that? Red Belt was a funny episode.
I kind of miss him.
I kind of missed the score. So, like during that fight scene, I was totally expecting one of Brad Breek's action themes to come on, but there wasn't any actual score for it. And
I said Brad Breek.
Brian H. Kim. Brad Breek is the composer for Gravity Falls, not the composer for Star Versus. Brian H. Kim has a thing for the soundtrack for Star Versus is amazing, and it felt kind of disappointing in the episode Red Belt to not have one of his songs play during that ending fight scene. Though he posted an explanation. Not only is he the music guy, but he's also the sound designer for the entire show.
So
that entire scene, the reason why he didn't have any music during that final fight scene, it was because he wanted it to be like an old kung fu movie where all the focus was on sound design and there was no score to go along with it.
Which is understandable. I personally
would have preferred it, but it was weird the first time around. And that doesn't take away from the fact that that was just a good episode in general.
I
really do like that episode. Okay, so let's talk fan theories. I have a few of my own, but do you have any that you'd like to bring up?
My brain is blank right now. Don't really have any that immediately come to mind. Anything that I bring up usually ties into a plot thread or something that I'm actively discussing. And generally not too excited about sticking next to a fan theory, because it's probably going to be blown away by...
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. The thing about fan theories in general, I love fan theories, for the record. But at the same time, the thing about theories is they are always being debunked. I see so many people who get disappointed at it. Do you remember the entire Grunkle for Grandpa fiasco?
For Gravity Falls.
What? Grunkle for Grandpa?
There are so many people who genuinely believe that Grunkle Stan wasn't even their Grunkle, but was actually their grandfather.
Even though that's been debunked
by the show. That's such a small theory. It doesn't really affect anything about the show at all, whether he's a Grunkle or not. I mean, they have the character of Shermie in it, but Shermie has only ever been shown as a baby. I saw a lot. I see a lot of people on Tumblr get really worked up over that particular fan theory.
Huh.
Um,
It's
it doesn't affect the plot in any big way. And trust me, I've had plenty of I've had plenty of fan theories for Gravity Falls that were debunked at some point. And to be completely honest, I almost felt betrayed when when it turned out that Ford was their other Grunkle. Because I was like,
oh
oh my gosh, are they actually going for he has a secret twin thing? I've grown attached to that plot point since, but when that first happened, that kind of felt weird because it felt like so obvious. It felt that it felt like that if they were to actually go through with it, it's too obvious to go through with. That's Gravity Falls, though. We're supposed to be talking about Star Versus.
Okay, so
so in terms of Star Versus fan theories. The one that immediately comes to mind is the one that I posted about a little while back. One where I was talking about the tapestries that are shown in the castle in Star's brain. The one that shows Eclipsa and the other previous queens of Muni.
Yep. Any follow up on that one? Are you talking about that drawing parallels between the tapestries and what kinds of similarities they have to some of Star's classmates and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm actually kind of wondering if
maybe I
was wrong.
Which
I would not be surprised if I was wrong. There doesn't seem to be much foreshadowing in that line. It felt like foreshadowing when they first appeared because oh my gosh, these characters look so much like these other characters that have already appeared on the show. But even though they look like these other characters, when was the last time you saw Ingrid in the show? For example. Ingrid had one appearance in was the episode called Jailbreak? No, Jailbreak's the Steven Universe episode.
Go ahead, try and hit me if you're able.
Jailbreak's the Steven Universe episode. Dear God, I need to I wish I was able to name all these episodes off the top of my head.
You have to be an Uber fan to do that.
Yeah.
I am not. I will never reach that level, nerdy.
I was able to do that with Gravity Falls for the most part.
I did post on that.
But now I'm just blanking on all these other Star Versus episodes.
But
the theory, for anyone listening, which at the current moment means absolutely no one except for you. But for anyone listening, the theory is that the four tapestries seem to feature the queens who happen to strongly resemble characters we've already seen in the show. The Furiosa-looking one, whose name escapes me. Most of their names, except for Eclipsa, escape me. But the bald one bears a lot of resemblance to Marco if his head was shaved. The Shy one, Serena the Shy, that's her name. Oh my gosh, I actually have a name. Serena the Shy. She looks a lot like Ingrid, who has only had one appearance. Eclipsa herself looks a whole lot like Brittany.
And of
course, you have Moon Butterfly, who, well, it's already been made canon at this point that Star and Moon bear a lot of there's definitely a family resemblance going on between Star and Moon.
So that's kind of
obvious. The
interesting thing
though is the further I looked into this, the more it seemed like these characters actually had opposite personalities to the characters they were meant to represent. With the sole exception of
Eclipsa
and Brittany.
Marco
wants to be seen as cool and dangerous, but is ultimately a really safe type of character. While that Furiosa-looking queen was a very
Well, I keep saying Furiosa.
Osa, that should say everything about it.
She's
She's a tough warrior, princess type queen. Meanwhile, the Serena the Shy is, just as the name would imply, a very shy character, whereas Ingrid seemed to be pretty mouthy throughout her episode. It's not like talkative or anything, but shy is not the first thing I would think of when I think of Ingrid.
So I'm wondering if
Many of those designs are coincidental, but even if they're coincidental, why were the designs so similar? Not helping things is the fact that Serena's monster boyfriend
bears a certain
amount of resemblance to Tom.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely some resemblance there, at least in regards to overall color palette. Gonna need to pull up the reference real quick here. Alright, have one up for Tom, and I'm going to look up one for Eclipsa. Okay, for Eclipsa's monster boyfriend, husband, lover, whatever he was, he's big and hulking, has markings all over his body, white hair, slitted yellow eyes, sharp teeth, sort of cat-like pupils, horns. And then Tom. The monster boyfriend comes across as kind of tall and intimidating, but also kind of smug. Tom, when he wants to, is the king of smug. He has the horns and the kind of pointed ears, 3 eyes, just like the monster boyfriend. There's some similarities design-wise, but I'm tentative to say that there's any kind of filial relationship with them. If anything, I'd say that he's more of a thematic reference or parallel.
Well, that's what
Star's equivalent. Yeah, I can see where you're going with Eclipsa and her monster lover being kind of a thematic parallel or echo of Star and Tom.
Yeah.
It's a
Matad.
And see,
in order for this theory to work out, it would mean Brittany and Ingrid would have to be brought back as somewhat important characters. Now, granted, Gravity Falls also did something similar. You have that entire cipher wheel, which has been revealed to be called the Zodiac, and there are so many characters who there are so many characters on that who kind of grew
less important
or as the series went on. Robbie comes to mind immediately, but they were still brought back during the series finale. So I'm wondering if it's possible for something like that to happen, and for Ingrid and Brittany to suddenly become more important. But at the same time, I don't think
comparing
Star versus to Gravity Falls. I kind of get the impression that Star versus is intentions are a little bit less thought out than Gravity Falls, because Gravity Falls was always meant to be a complete show with a complete story arc. I kind of get the impression that some of Star versus plot lines are meant to be opened up a little bit so that the show can go on a bit longer than just 3 seasons. So I don't know.
Yeah, it sits in the same camp as some other modern cartoons, such as Regular Show, Wander Over Yonder. It has a format that has an overarching plot, but there's still room for one-off episodic fare, like in this case, the difference between Raid the Cave and Trickstar. Raid the Cave is a direct follow-up to Bon Bon the Birthday Clown, but Trickstar could be watched separate. And the only thing that might kind of throw viewers off if they've only seen season 1 would be, why is Stars 1 missing half the star? That'd be one of the few things that throw people off. So it's a show.
And
at the same time, See, sometimes it almost feels like there's and this isn't a bad thing by any means because I really like that I can do this, but sometimes it almost feels like there are two separate series going on at the same time. One is very plot based. There's a ton of things. There's kind of this mystery thing going on, and then at the other end you get some episodes. And I liked quite a few of the comedic episodes in here.
I'm trying to think of
Which one? I would say.
Freeze Day.
Freeze Day. Freeze Day, I think, is my favorite episode of the first season, and that's comedic side of things. There's a little bit of character development in it in terms of how Marco and Star respond to each other, but there's nothing lore based in that episode.
It's just a really cute
episode, and that's one of the reasons why I really liked it.
Also,
Nobody seems to talk about that episode quite a bit.
Even though
that episode has some of the most definitive Starco moments, and considering this fan base, you'd expect most of them to be drawn to that.
Oh, I've heard somebody go on about Freeze Day for similar reasons, and I swear he is the biggest Starco shipper I know.
I mean,
of the Starco shippers.
The
entire thing, and shipping is more your thing. Romance Scrooge. I mean, it's in your name, and you have an entire the shipping corner video on your thing. I participate in shipping to a certain extent, but at the same time, I see a lot of people who dive like head first into this ship is going to be canon, or this ship is a Matad. This ship has to be canon. It always kind of weirds me out whenever I see people who act like that.
Honestly, it wouldn't break my heart if Starco wasn't canon. But then again, I like shipping. It's not an end all be all for cartoons. It ruins the experience of watching a show if that's what you're. Especially with a show like Star Versus, that's not the main focus. It's one of the major themes, yes. I'm not going to deny that. It's one of the big draws to bring butts into seats, but
it's a bit more
prevalent in a show like this than it is in Gravity Falls, for example.
Gravity Falls was...
Dear God, Gravity Falls is actually a terrible show with shipping.
They have
a Matad, and this isn't to say that the ships in the show are terrible. It's just that there's also so many ships in that are so weird.
And kind of out of nowhere.
I think it's because at the beginning of the show, when you didn't have Pacifica there, then the only characters you had to ship are
basically the twins
themselves. This is going into territory I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, let's just stop it right there.
I gotta stop it right there.
This much, every show has its share of weird ships. Star Versus has weird ships too. People ship Star with Ludo.
Yes, people do.
Ship Star with Ludo. Okay, something. I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
If you want to still stay on the shipping thing, I can say that I do like Starco, but I also like a whole bunch of other potential ships in this category. I really like I really like both Janstar and Janko, and obviously those ships are kind of mutually exclusive. Unless you're going with the Polymorph ending, which is fine in fan fiction, but I don't think Disney is ever going to do that.
Nope, if you want that kind of ending for a show, it'd be an adult cartoon or independently produced.
Yeah. But I like
Janstar and Janko / Mana quite a bit.
I'm a Janstar shipper. That is my second choice if Starco does not become canon.
That's just such a
the entire thing about Janstar. That's such a
fun ship
is I think the best way of putting it, because you have Matad. I can just imagine Star and Jana going on amazing adventures together as a romantic couple, and I think that's I think that's just a really cool concept.
I went
into
a little bit.
I think in some of my previous posts I went into a little bit more detail with Janko / Mana. there doesn't
That ship is so underrated. There doesn't even seem to be a set name. Some people are saying Mana. Some people are saying Janko, and I'm
not sure which one
people have decided is the end all name of that.
But
Yeah, I've seen but I've only seen like
I've seen one
blog that is absolutely dedicated to Mana.
the
Blog makes some Mana if anyone's interested in that.
Um,
But aside from that, I've seen a few passing references from people like say Mooring Mark about it, but it's always a passing joke, and it's never it's never a ship that anyone is actually considering. Which I suppose, given recent episodes, it's actually even less likely to be a thing now than it was back in the first season.
Yep. Jackie and Star have taken the main stage as Marco's potential love interests.
Yep. I don't really want to talk about Jackie. Trying to think of something else.
Alrighty.
I mean, just Todd. Just because I know my opinions are probably going to like get someone to like hate me so much over it. I got on the post. Todd. When the stream is done, I'll probably link a few of the posts that I mentioned in here, in the description. But I'm not done yet. I need to edit this later. But whatever.
It's not secret
Or anything. What's another thing that I think that is worth talking about? You have anything? I'm going blank at the moment.
Pretty much the same here. I'd say this is a good stopping point.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was our stream to the nobody who watched it. I hope you guys enjoy.
Stop.
I hope you.
You may get more people who watch this after it's up and.
Okay.
Yeah.
After it's up and.
Todd, if you're watching this in the near future, I hope you enjoy it. This has been Tom Raster / Inland Robot, and with me was the Romance Scrooge. I think it's about time we say goodnight.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I'm gonna stop.